In some eerie tea that's been spilled recently, a medium has shared what they claim is an emotional glimpse into the afterlife of our forever angel, Aaliyah. According to this medium, her spirit has been living with a whole lot of pain ever since the tragic accident that took her life. The vision is deep. Aaliyah's spirit apparently went straight to the Apollo Theater right after her passing and just sat there in the audience, not saying a word. Now, we all know the Apollo is where legends are made, so the idea of Aaliyah heading there after death already sounds poetic, but here's where it gets even heavier. This medium says Aaliyah was filled with sadness and anger while she was there, like she knew something was off about how things went down. The medium claims that in her afterlife, Aaliyah's spirit has now retreated into a memory where she exists as a little girl. It's like she's trying to hold on to some sense of innocence after all that pain. It's definitely giving heartbreak, both from the tragedy of her death and this deep sense of unresolved hurt that the medium suggests. While this insight might be comforting or haunting, depending on how you look at it, it has left fans talking about what this could mean for Aaliyah's legacy and the circumstances around her passing.
So, there's a lot going on in Aaliyah's head, for sure.
Hey, my beautiful people. She says, please do a reading on Aaliyah. They said she's so tired to be Simone. Well, I did do a reading on Aaliyah, but I will tell you this. She is not so tired to be Simone. Aaliyah is a little girl. She looks to be about 3 or 4 years old. She has went back to the past. When I looked into her last year, that's where she is. And when I look at her now, that's where she is. She has not reincarnated. Again, she has went back to the past as a little girl, 3, 4 years old. So what that means is that you have the ability in the astral, that's where the body goes, part of the soul goes to the astral. You can go back to the past and you can stay a while. That's what she chose to do. But when she decides to come out of that, best believe some things are going to come out. But no, be Simone. No way. Not at all. Soul tie is not even a real thing. Like, no. She's a little girl. Hey, my beautiful people. So the best way that I can respond to this comment is by doing a reading on Aaliyah and R. Kelly. This will explain why Aaliyah does not want to reincarnate. Y'all, when I channeled Aaliyah, she said it was okay to tell her truth. This is very sad. It actually made me tear up while I was doing a mediumship with her. So in 1994, R. Kelly and Aaliyah got married, but the marriage got annulled in 1995. R. Kelly was 27, Aaliyah was 15. Of course, just like the rest of us, we had a serious crush on R. Kelly. We loved his music, so she's not denying that. But she did look to him to be a mentor, which he was a mentor to her. Aaliyah proceeds to tell me that R. Kelly did hurt her. He was a bit abusive and controlling. He never physically put his hands on her, but his ways were abusive. He was very manipulative. During this time of their relationship, he tried to comfort her to make her think, okay, it's going to be okay. It's all for your good. I got your best interest. Now, R. Kelly, he was not delusional. This was all for his gain. The reason why he had to marry Aaliyah and because they had relations is because he needed to further his career. Also, they saw something in Aaliyah, and so they wanted her to further her career. So the reason that they got married is because he did not want anybody else in the industry to have any claims to her. Aaliyah says that was the most hurtful time of her life because she, at that young age, she was 15. She didn't understand anything, but the adults around her knew very well what was going on. So in the music industry, if they see something in you, they want you because you can make a lot of people a lot of money. So she kept repeating his name, the person who was behind everything that had to be done, and his name is Clive. And we're not talking about Clive Davis, we're talking about Clive Calder, a very powerful man in the music industry. You can look him up. So if you haven't figured it out, having relations with her is part of rituals, okay? So people believe in doing rituals to gain power, to gain success. That is not uncommon. As far as other adults, her mother knew what was going on. Her brother was against it, but there was nothing that they could do. Now, from what she tells me, her father was against a lot of stuff and just could not handle it. And so the relationship was kind of strained with the father, the mother, him and Aaliyah. Even though he was still around, don't get me wrong, he loved her, but that put a strain on him with the family. But he did not blame Aaliyah. It's just he just could not handle it, but he was still there. Mind you that I said this was not only for R. Kelly's gain, it was for Aaliyah's gain too. But Aaliyah told me that she made the mistake thinking that she could just walk away. So they still eventually hurt her in the end. So this is why she does not want to reincarnate. She said she never wants to come back to that life. She is happy where she is at. And like I said in my previous video, she is a little girl. And no, she did not go back to this plane or this past right when she died, because she came to me when she died. She was one of the first celebrities that I saw, and she was herself. So she did not, go into this past and on this plane right when she died. It took a while. Like I said, very sad story. I hope this gave you guys some closure.
Love of Aaliyah's life, Damon Dash, who was her boyfriend at the time of her passing, shared details surrounding her death. He claimed in conversations with her that she expressed how fearful she was to board the plane. He also shared details that she was offered a different private jet, but video producer Hype Williams took it away from her, which he is upset about till this day.
We had the Blackberries, and she said, I don't like this plane. And I was like, well, don't get on it. And she was like, well, I got to because I got work to do. She got on the plane, and she always had a very serious fear of planes in general. So she had to overcome a fear to get on that plane on the way there. But what I was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet, and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask him.
But I also am asking you.
Yeah, but ask him.
I feel like you had some things to say to him.
Because of my respect for Aaliyah and her family, her music it's just coming out, but everyone's very respectful of her memory. No one really speaks on it, because that's the circle of people she had around her. So out of respect for her memory, I don't say a lot of things.
Bruh. This might be the funniest fucking video on the internet, bruh. Oh shit, yo. What the fuck, B. Simone, yo. I wasn't fucking ready, yo. Oh shit.